The best thing about being single, you don't have to consider anyone. Do you think you have a disordered relationship with food and exercise? Love life update. How do you manage your finances? How long were you thinking about getting a dog before you got Charlie?
I used to take myself out on dates. Open my own damn doors, pay for
Hello guys, it's Conagh and welcome back to my channel. I hope this lighting is okay. Today we're going to be filming a life update Q&A, mukbang. Charlie's hanging off the couch like she's having a crisis. Charlie, are you okay? I'll turn the oven off in a second, but I'm just cooking some pizza so we can have some food for the mukbang aspect of this video. I think the last time I did like a Q&A was kind of like my 2022 like goals and stuff like that. So I thought it was time. Should we do these like quarterly? But yeah, I usually put in like little life updates in the weekly vlog. So I thought we could have our own video for this one. The food will be arriving shortly. Let me just get up some of the questions. Hopefully my camera doesn't die while I'm doing this. Let me have a little look-see. Of course, this is the perfect time for my archive not to work. Hello. If in doubt, turn off your Wi-Fi. By the way, this jumper is from STAX. My code is Conagh10. That one never expires. All right, let me scroll right to the bottom. Someone said, what is your deadlift PB? I think it's 210, but I did hurt my back when I did that. So didn't have the greatest form, but did I say 210? I think I did. 110. Okay, I have my pizza. Someone commented, oh, this looks dangerous. Someone commented asking, where is the pizza cutter that my parents got? And I think it's in the drawer. I actually prefer cutting pizza with a knife. I don't know if that's weird, but I've been really on the Lebanese bread train for the base because they're much cheaper than the Woolworths ones because they're $5 for two. I think they're like $2 at Aldi. So yes, someone said, where's your deadlift PB? 110 kilos. I don't know what that is in pounds, but I feel like I can't hit that again. I don't know how I did it. Sometimes you just wake up and you're really strong that day. And then every other day you're like, no. Ooh, I really like this question. Someone said, what has been your favorite age so far? So if you weren't aware, I did just turn 23. My favorite age? That's a really hard question. Maybe like 11 or something like that. Like when you're not quite a teenager. Because I guess you could say like when you're a kid, you don't really have to worry about like adult things. But every year I get older, I feel like I'm enjoying being that age a little bit more, if that makes sense. I feel like I liked being 21. 22 was cool, but it was a hard year. Who knows what 23 holds. Someone said, any big plans this year? Hopefully some travel. I think I'm going to Sydney in May. I also just booked flights to New Zealand kind of around Christmas time so I can be with my family, which is super exciting because I haven't been to New Zealand, I think since 2018, which is a long time for me. I'm super excited for the launch of Early Bird Society. I think once that gets underway, it'll be very exciting. But at the moment, since we're still like planning everything, it's hard to get excited about something. Like I am excited. Once things are set in stone and like there's dates for things, I'm able to look forward to them more. Yeah, I think those are my main things, but I really want to travel, do all the things that make me really happy. Also, I apologize if I get food in my teeth. Someone said, when did you get the idea for Early Bird Society? So excited for it, by the way. So honestly, I think I came up with the name for Early Bird Society early 2021, and then throughout the year, it was kind of like loosely kind of working on it behind the scenes, but it's a very slow process when you kind of start a brand. And I was kind of just gonna sell products, if that makes sense. And then I had the idea for the tumbler, which I felt like was very fitting for me because I always have my coffees in my tumbler in the morning and stuff. Everything's quite slow with COVID as well, and it's a learning curve, you know, getting everything designed and whatnot. In terms of the Zoom aspect of it, that was like literally in the last month. I kind of spoke about it in my weekly vlog, but I really wanted it to be something more and have more value than just maybe selling a few products, you know? When Elise and I were discussing it, it was almost like a light bulb went off, and I thought, yes, this is it. This is gonna actually give a lot more value to the Early Bird Society. So it's been a long time coming, but the actual Zoom aspect of it is very, very recent. Someone said, if you could live anywhere else in the world out of Australia, where would I live? New Zealand, probably. Someone said, you get up so early and you work out so much. Do you nap during the day? Sometimes, if I'm very, very tired, I will. I'm not really a napper. I'm also just kind of close my eyes and rest. Sometimes I wish I could nap, but generally no. I go to sleep fairly early, like usually around between 10 and 10:30, I would say. Someone said, any more tattoo ideas? I'm obsessed with all of your ones so far, especially the cherries. Yeah, kind of. I kind of want to get a sternum tattoo, but like a very small one. Part of me wants to get like a little tiny C. I feel like that could be kind of cute, but for now I'm like stopping because I did go from 0 tattoos to 9 tattoos in the space of a few months. So I need to calm down a little bit, but I would love a sternum tattoo. Probably nothing too much more. Someone said the best thing about being single, you don't have to consider anyone most of the time. Obviously with some exception, but when it comes to most things in your life, you don't have to consult anyone or make sure it works out with their plans. You don't have to quote unquote worry about anyone. It's just you, and that's all you got to worry about, which is really nice. There's also just like no drama. You don't really have anyone to fight with, so you don't have to go through any like little arguments you might have with your partner. Obviously at the end of the day, it's amazing to have someone, but there are so many benefits to being single. Like you can just do whatever the heck you want. You don't have to rely on anyone. You can kind of just rely on yourself. You just don't have to consider anyone else. Take what I'm saying with a grain of salt because it's sounding very brutal, but I'm sure you know what I mean. Like obviously everyone has friends and like you consider them in your life, but when you're in a relationship, you have to consider them in everything that you do. When you're single, it's just you, baby. That's probably my favorite thing about being single. And you also get to hold on to the fact that you haven't met your person yet. For me, it's really exciting that I get to kind of go through, you know, meeting someone again, because I feel like the first stages of a relationship are so much fun. And when you meet the person that is your forever person, you only get to do that once. So just hold on to that, because once it's gone, it's kind of gone, you know? Someone said, do you think you have a disordered relationship with food and exercise? Trigger warning, gonna talk about calories. I would say when I was kind of at the peak of my like weight loss, if you will, I was very strict. I had a goal, and I'm a very all or nothing person, so I was very determined to reach my goal. So sometimes I think it would just be a little bit restrictive, especially when I was kind of like, I had that like low carb mindset where I didn't really let myself eat any form of carbs. Like I would not eat bread, no rice, like nothing. I think now is probably the best that I've ever been, because I don't really cut out food groups. There are foods that I don't eat most of the time, but all in all, I'll eat anything, you know? Exercise though, I definitely listen to my body, and I always have. If there are days where I'm really not feeling the gym, I won't go. There's a difference between just not being bothered and like needing a rest, and I'm pretty good at knowing the difference. I feel like you guys might think that I go to the gym like every single day, but honestly, I train like 3 to 5 times a week. Like 5 days a week is good for me. Most of the time it's like 4, and then sometimes it's 3. Last week it was 1 or 2, depending where I am in my cycle. Like I really listen to my energy levels. I'm sorry, I'm speaking my mouth open. I kind of like stay away from talking about like topics like this, because people can kind of take what you say and run with it. It's just because if you have a goal to lose weight, eating in a deficit is not necessarily a bad thing if that's your goal. Of course, you can be in far too great of a deficit and you can be way too restricted, which is not good for you. But I do think now, currently, I'm in the best place that I am with kind of just eating what I want, training hard, getting stronger. I'm definitely the strongest that I've ever been, which is exciting. And I'm just not really thinking about it, which is nice. So just because for a long time, my goal was to lose weight, which there's nothing wrong with that. Whereas now, and like the last year, honestly, I've just been living my life, you know? Someone said, how do you deal with imposter syndrome? I feel like I get this a lot. Honestly, I do feel like a bit of a fraud sometimes. And it's like, why do I have this? I don't deserve this. Like, who am I to be doing this? But my psychologist once said, like, the voices or the thoughts in your head are not facts. They're not facts. So you just gotta try and ignore them and look at the things that are facts. You can say, well, no, I've worked really hard for this. I've been doing this for 6 years. Who am I to say that I don't deserve this? Because I worked so hard for this. You just gotta kind of remind yourself that, no, you do deserve these things. You do work hard, and kind of tell yourself to shut up. Because we're all in the same boat. No one is better, or no one is more deserving of something than someone else. You know? A few of you said, how have I been feeling lately? Which, thank you very much. I'm doing a lot better than I was at the start of the year. I feel like a lot of us were kind of in the same boat where we were all like, oh my God, it's a new year, 2022, this is it, like, woo. And then we were all like, this is not it. And I feel like I just had a breakdown when I was like, I can't do this anymore. I haven't gone to see a psychologist yet, which is definitely my fault, but I feel like everything's just been kind of wild lately. So now I feel like I have the time to go see a psychologist, because I feel like it'll be super beneficial, especially since I am in a bit of a better place. So I'm probably more receptible, yes, to any help that they can give me. I definitely have good days and bad days, but I'm overall in a much better place than I was. And it's hard to say what that's down to. I definitely think for me, keeping busy is the biggest thing. I also have to really be conscious that I am spending time with people and I'm not just alone from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep, because that is just very detrimental to my health. And I think because we've got Early Bird Society coming, I had my birthday, I feel like things are kind of happening again. It makes me excited, which really helps my mental health. I feel like when I get into a rut of kind of waking up and doing the same thing every day, I really struggle with that. I'm in a much better place now. Someone said, are you single? Yes. Someone said, love life update, nil. Someone said, what sort of gym workouts are you doing at the moment? So I train at a fit stop. So we do a lot of like strength training and kind of HIIT. It's a lot of everything. They recently kind of revamped their workouts. I also get questions asking for like workout routines, but since I do go to a fit stop, they're not my workouts and I can't really just like show you every single time I do it. I do my best to try and film and show like snippets and stuff, but it's similar to F45, but at the same time, it's very, very different. You're able to progress a lot more at fit stop in my opinion, but F45 was an excellent place for me to start. Yeah, we do a lot of things like squats, deadlifts, running, interval kind of like jumping, like ski ergs, the assault bike, which is just deadly. A lot of like jump lunges, burpees, kind of like circuit training is a lot. Stuff that gets your heart rate high, but only for a short period of time. And I feel like my body responds really well to that. And I like kind of performing as though I'm an athlete. I feel like kind of like commercial gyms, I get bored. I don't know, I like training in like a group atmosphere, which I've said many times. Someone said, how long were you thinking about getting a dog before you got Charlie? Honestly, it was very subconscious. Like I always knew I would get a dog. I don't know, I'd never really mentioned it. And then the process of actually getting her was very, very fast. I honestly think it was like a week between finding Charlie and then actually picking her up. I love that dog to pieces, honestly. Ooh, someone said fitness goal for 2022. I'd love to hit 100 kg squat. That would be very cool. I would love to be able to do pull-ups easily because they're very difficult for me. I don't know why. I see so many girls on like TikTok and stuff and they're just doing 10 pull-ups in a row and it looks easy and I'm like, how do you do that? Someone said, how to make yourself rest or do self-care without feeling guilt. Self-care is being productive. I still get this way where I feel very, very guilty for not working 24/7, but it's just not realistic. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You are much more valuable if you're working, you know, for say 6 hours feeling really, really great, as opposed to working for 12 hours on a really low battery level. The work that you're producing or whatever you're doing is not going to be as good. So you really need to, as I say, like work smarter, not harder. If you work from home like me, don't feel guilty for having breaks, because you get breaks at other workplaces as well. You just got to remind yourself that what you're doing by resting, whatever it is, taking time for yourself, is being productive. Because we're humans, we're not machines. We have to take time for ourselves. And I feel like the hustle culture is a little bit toxic, and I honestly struggle with it. Like I second guess myself and I always think I could always be working harder. I could always be doing more. I know that I will just burn out. I'll have a mental breakdown. And that is very, very hard to come back from. Yum, just finished my pizza. A few of you asked about Charlie and why I don't take her on walks. I do take her on walks. I just don't take my phone because she's so big now. I kind of have to have like my 2 hands to hold her. And I don't take her on my massive walks because she just will get too puffed too quickly. So I do take her on walks. I just don't film it. When I go on my walks with Charlie, it's my time kind of away from my phone, and I leave my phone at home. And I take her to my parents all the time. I just tend to do that kind of in the evenings or at night, and I don't usually film at nighttime or in the evenings. So I do take her on walks. I just don't film it. Walking your dog and trying to film it at the same time, and she's 50 kilos, it's kind of difficult. Someone said, do you still do the boxing sessions? I haven't actually done one this year. I don't think Ethan is doing them at the moment. He did move to the Gold Coast. We may do one in the future, but I haven't done one yet. Someone said, some of your favorite snacks at the moment? Always carrot and some sort of dip. Any of the Macro Mac protein bars, Misfit protein bars, those little rice cake bites that I get from the supermarket are really, really good. I've been really into green apples lately. It's been a go-to snack. Someone said, would you ever move to Sydney or somewhere outside of Queensland? Maybe. I guess it depends like where my future or my life kind of takes me. I'm not opposed to moving anywhere. I do love being near my family though. That's really important to me. But I feel like probably not Melbourne. I'm sorry if you're from Melbourne, but I've been and I didn't really love it. But I do think it's because I didn't experience it properly. So who knows? I could love it. I could kind of see myself living in Sydney, but Brisbane's just, I don't know. Brisbane or the Gold Coast, who knows? Oh, my camera's gonna die. I'm just gonna keep going until it dies, so I'm sorry if there's no outro. Someone said, what is your go-to alcoholic drink or cocktail of choice? I really like a glass of rosé or vodka and blank. It's like a vodka soda, vodka lemonade, vodka whatever. Those are usually my go-to. And then if I'm being like naughty, I'll have an espresso martini or some sort of cocktail or something like that. Someone said, how do you stay motivated during that time of the month? Honestly, that is the time where I'm the most lenient with everything. If I'm not feeling the gym, or if I'm at the gym, I'm probably not gonna try. Like I think we had like 90% of our 3-rep max this week and I've been on my period and I was like, this is not happening. I am weaker than I usually am, so I'm not gonna try and push myself. Like you gotta remember that women especially, we don't work on a 24-hour clock. We work on a however many days your cycle is. That is your clock. So you gotta like respect it. Someone said, what nationality are you? My mum is Australian, but her grandparents were Irish. So my great-great-grandparents? Why can't I work this out? My great-grandparents are Irish. Yeah, that's kind of why I have the green eyes and I had red hair when I was a kid. And then my dad is from New Zealand and I'm pretty sure he has like Scottish roots. Kind of Irish, Scottish. Someone said, what is my squat PB? I think it's 95 for 2. Someone said, how do you stay so motivated? My weeks can look super different. One week I can be loving the gym and then the next week I am so not there and I just don't want to go. It really just depends, but you got to just try and take each day as it comes. Slow and steady definitely wins the race when it comes to like first getting into working out, but if you have a week where you don't go to the gym, it's so fine. You'll probably find that you feel much more motivated to go the next week because you've had a big rest. Staying motivated is hard. Being disciplined to go, you know, most days is very different. Someone said, what level did you get up to in gymnastics? I think it was 5 from memory. Someone said, what's your favorite food? Probably sushi, which I haven't had in ages. Pizza or GYG. Someone said, how do you manage your finances? So I have 4 main accounts, I think. I have a spending, I have a savings, I have a like BAS or a GST account, and I have a tax account. And every time I get paid, I kind of split them up into all of those categories. So I put 10% into the BAS or the GST, I put a percentage into my tax, and I put some into savings, and then I put some into spending. So every time I do my BAS, which I think is quarterly, I have that money put aside, the same as my tax, which I definitely recommend doing so you're kind of on top of things and then you don't get a tax bill that you can't pay because you haven't set money aside. Definitely recommend. I probably could have more accounts like bills and other things, but I like to keep it quite simple and that's what works best for me because numbers overwhelm me. Maths wasn't my strong point in school. Okay, last one. Someone said tips for gaining muscle. You gotta eat, girl. You have to eat and lift heavy. That is how you gain muscle. And I've definitely noticed a huge improvement in my glute growth, in my quads. I feel like my quads are kind of popping at the moment. And I'm definitely the strongest that I've ever been. And I'm eating the most that I ever have. So that is the way to gain muscle. Eat enough food and lift heavy. All right, I feel like I answered literally no questions. So I might do some more in my weekly vlog. But I hope you guys enjoyed this life update. Please give it a big thumbs up if you did. And my camera died. So I thought I would end this video off. Say vlog, but it's not really a vlog. There's not much more that I wanted to say, but the video is over. Follow me on Instagram because we're so close to 100k. Oh, I hope you're having a lovely day or night wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.